Right, okay guys, the fourth and final trade. So as I discussed in the last trade, we were starting to make our way up to our 4-hour retrace fibs of our 4-hour market structure pool. And as you can see here on the left, we do actually have some supply. So I'm going to show here how the indicator can pick up order blocks inefficiencies and break blocks in a given area to produce a very high risk to reward trade. So first I want to identify where the supply zone is. So I want to use the order block of inefficiency. I want to turn it on. And you will see here that the indicator identifies multiple order blocks inefficiencies being the 15, 30 and 45. And you'll see that the 45 minute is the key one here because it's actually backed by the 705 4-hour fib. So this is the one that I'm going to draw to capture the whole inefficiency. But later, or well next I should say, I'm actually going to change the setting to order block so I can pinpoint now into a more refined supply zone. So you'll see here that the 45 minute also has an order block which is a much narrower inefficiency. So this is the one that I want to choose because I picked the 4-hour order block of inefficiency. Then there's like a mini efficiency within that inefficiency, if that makes sense. So that's the one that I'm interested in because it's a 45 and a 45. And then what you can do is select your breaker blocks, which is now going to give me an entry point. The entry point is the imbalance. So the imbalance has presented itself in the 9-minute, 8-minute and 6-minute. So this is where I enter trades because the breaker blocks are used for entries only and areas which you can use for trades. So if we mark that out on screen, and I'm actually going to remove the order block of inefficiency because we've actually nailed and pinpointed a more refined inefficiency level that we're going to pay attention to. So if we remove that all from the screen, the trade that I will be looking to take in this instance will be any fill of the breaker block with my stop loss above the order block, and that will just allow you to refine your trades really. So if we go into a smaller time frame, you'll also see something else that starts to form once we get into this area. So remembering that we did have a 45-minute order block, do you know what, for the sake of good practice, I'm going to leave this on because you'll understand why I took this trade a bit more. So start of an inducement of the supply zone, we proceed, we now tag into our supply zone, so we now know that we're distributing. So this is a distribution within a 45-minute order block of inefficiency backed by the 705. But because we have been able to identify using the indicator a more refined inefficiency, this is the area I'm interested in getting hit before I take the trade. So the way that I will set this trade up will be a short position, midpoint, stop loss, a few price points above the supply zone, and I will actually in this instance be targeting a naked liquidity point that I will present once you can see the entry point. So we just tag inside, so that validates this breaker block even more because that now means there's another fair value gap. So I'm still waiting for the midpoint for this to be achieved before I enter, which we get bang on, right in the middle, stop loss above the supply zone, perfect M1 distribution in a high probability area. And as I say, we will be targeting a naked liquidity point. Now usually you can target the range low because you've come into a retrace, so this would just be a continuation to go lower on the 4-hour, but we have a clear liquidity naked low here. So this is what I will be targeting, and as you can see, this provides a pretty good rate of rewards, risk to reward. Why? Because we can use the indicator to identify inefficiencies with a clear stop above our order block, and guys, we just let the market cook. And as you can see, we absolutely melt through, because we have pretty nice return to zone here as well. We just melt through all of these liquidity points like butter, and we achieve our target pretty swiftly for the size of the trade that it is. And that is it, job done. Swing trade using the indicator, order block of inefficiency, find order block, refined entry point using the breaker block. Entry is the breaker block to fill that inefficiency. Stop loss goes above the order block. And we targeted the naked liquidity line for nearly a 40R trade for 12 hours of work. And that is it, guys. So that is 4 trades of how I use the indicator, each in their own different sort of way, using them in context. So I hope you learned something here today, and I'll see you in part 3.